Extra juice out of Olivia today for her golden birthday?
She had a great day. Yeah, she had a great day. Exactly what we thought that she would give. She's giving in pace, and she does a great job running a group that has no idea what they're doing, and that's usually a challenge. And so for a player to kind of be able to do what they like to do and be able to run a team, that's helpful.
Were you able to get to running offensive sets any earlier in practice today than you said yesterday?
A little. We've gotten better. I think even yesterday was a little better. We're getting through stuff quicker, a little less talking. It's very common. We got to everything we wanted to get to today, and spent a fair amount of time on the areas we needed to. And I told them yesterday, I thought their attention to the details, it just helps us, as coaches, kind of go, okay, we can move on. And they've really, they've been really locked in on that.
Speaking of attention to detail, as your defense become the first
good.
stage?
Good. I'd say overall, the concepts they've really committed to. I think that's the biggest thing is they all know what they're supposed to do. It's not the first time they've heard things. It's just more, how committed are you? If you're just interested in defense, then But if you're really committed, you can see the possessions where we're playing from ahead versus the ones that we were just kind of there, either got tired or whatever. So, but I think overall they're understanding what has to happen.
Last year Taylor had such energy in camp, and in the preseason, must have made your decision very difficult there. You have her back this year.
Yeah.
What has she added that'll make the decision even harder this year?
Well, I think just the experience of going overseas and playing. She'll probably tell you that doing this for a second time, she's a little more comfortable. She's always going to give you that energy. Can you marry that now with execution? And just, can you just be a little more of a vet this time? And it's still early, but Taylor Soul's always going to give you energy, always. She's always going to give, not only just through her aggression in her play, but her voice and what she gives to others. Wherever she is, that team is the one that's the loudest and the most hype in what they're doing.
I would have thought that would have been Lynx.
It's actually not. No, Courtney's talking, but it's not. It doesn't reach the level of Taylor.
Speaking of energy, can you just talk about what the energy was like in here tonight?
Yeah, I think the energy has been really, really good. As we said, it's probably still the case throughout the league. It's only the third day, so their energy is up. You start getting to day 4 and day 5, and then the second week. That'll be the true test, but I think that the energy has been through the roof. And it's in the right way. It's like, and they're giving energy to each other. It's not their own energy. It's how they're interacting with one another. And, that's for us. We value those things. You're watching the Wolves have the chemistry that they have and, giving to each other, not caring who gets the credit. You have a chance to have a special season if you have that as your core.
Have you ever, as a coach, come close to getting run over?
Yeah. And I tell myself, sit down. What are you doing? Actually, last year at Chicago, Tiffany Mitchell got me. There was a loose ball at center court, and I was up, near my box area and trying to cheer her on. And the next thing you know, here she came, and I got hit in the head, and my glasses, I got cut. And I bench tipped. I was so mad at her. You got to get control of yourself. Can't run into the coach.
Well, I don't think people realize just how little room there is to get the heck out of the way.
Yeah, time-wise too. There's tremendous athletes. But unfortunately, that play for them that we're talking about, it's a cheap shot. That led to that. Booker, hitting Conley in that way. Nobody's expecting that to happen. So, and then as far as timing, Finch at 54 or Cheryl at 57, we're not getting out of the way very fast. Not with the tremendous athletes that are on the floor.
You have said, I think you said it on draft night, that it's a little different training camp in the sense that even in the preseason, you're going into these games wanting to win the games. But I would imagine that there are some players who won't play because they haven't practiced yet. So how will you approach who plays and what the rotation will be in this first game?
We'll play. Even people that haven't been here, they're going to play on Friday. Yeah, we're going to go with the people that we believe that will start, and they're going to play together. They're going to figure it out in game. You will see players probably not have a chance to play in the game. That's very possible, and that's just the way it is. And like I said, what our priority is, we're trying to get chemistry with a starting group or a group that looks like have a chance to start or the top 8. We're going to substitute in that way, and then we'll try to work in around that.
Yesterday you said you felt the group was much further along than they were at this point last year.
Yeah.
What kind of ability does that give you in a preseason game to like try different things or maybe more advanced stuff that you wouldn't have brought in?
It's huge. Personnel-wise, we're much more settled. While they're maybe new, they're learning, but they're vets. So it's not like they don't have any clue of what we're trying to get done. So it just gets you further along in terms of the way you coach the game. Now you're not trying to figure out, what does one of the starters do? You already know what your starters do skill set wise, and what you're running. Maybe your defensive schemes. You learn through that. It comes greater into focus. Maybe you have some plays in that you go, okay, that's a really good one for her. It's a really good one for her. Defensively, you learn what you have in. Is it the right things? So you can move on more quickly versus the games, the regular season, which is what we did last year. We were using our games to figure things out.
With Kayla not having practiced yet, I would bet you've seen a lot of Letitia.
Yeah.
And together on the court, Williams and she together on the court.
Yeah.
How do you like that combo?
I like it. They know each other so well. That's really helpful. Their time in Connecticut together. Letitia's in great shape, and her energy and the things that she's given, obviously her ability to shoot the ball, but she's also getting into the paint, making good decisions. Courtney kind of needs that guard next to her that's going to be that energy player. Courtney's navigating, how hard you can play defense consistently. It's like sometimes she's like, oh yeah, that's right, I forget. You want me to do that all the time.
But the capability is there. The quickness is there to be.
It is. Yeah. So the two of them are a nice combination.
Could you see a 3-guard lineup at times against the right teams? The right
For sure.
Where those two and Kayla would be out there together.
For sure. Yeah.
Are those lower boards at each end of the court new this year?
They are. Yeah. And so. We brought the NOAA system in 2017, I believe it was, for Simone and for Brunson. Brunson's last season of her career, she shot more threes than she did combined her entire career. And then NOAA added, so at that time, technology-wise, they're further along now. And so the Wolves actually invested in, I believe it would maybe been last year, kind of the newer technology. And so then, obviously we got to the point where we said, why not have it at all the baskets? Yeah. Even for the Wolves players, just having all two doesn't really make sense. And so I think it's an incredible tool. It's an investment, for sure. Players love it. And, the feedback of not just the voice, but I don't know if you guys know what you're looking at when you're looking at the boards.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
No, on the right side of it, you see the splash zone. And every shot you shoot, you see those 3 metrics, the arc, the depth, and the left-right will move based on what your shot looked like. If your arc was, lower, it's on the left side of center. And if it was higher, it's on the right side. You're aiming for a zone, which is a splash zone. And if you land in a splash zone, that sound that you're hearing, the splash, is that you hit the zone, right? So it makes them pretty competitive. My understanding is the Wolves players like it a lot, and obviously we've been using NOAA for a while, but this newer way of looking at it, and so it's the facial recognition part now that they've added to that. So a ton more cameras that you see up there than what we had before. So we believe in it.
Never did give Simone an arc to her shop.
You tell her that. I'm not going to tell her that. She's taking a lot of time, Hey, we went from 38, 39, getting to 42 was like a better chance of going in. So she didn't reach 45 very much.
Yeah. Is there any other NOAA technology that we don't see that's being employed here?
I think player wearables. You probably don't know that we know how fast a player ran, what was their peak, how high they jumped. I'm trying to think what else in their heart rate, so whether the load in your practice, was it enough, not enough, where are we overall? So Chuck and his team, have a bunch, of stuff that they're able to use. Connexon being the main thing there, but I think we talked about Second Spectrum. So there's a lot of good stuff.
When you tell that to prospective players or players coming in here for the first time? What kind of reaction do you get?
I think you have to be here to understand NOAA. It's not necessarily something you talk about. We do talk about our investment-minded organization. Obviously, the facility that we show off. We do a virtual reality tour, so you can see things. And so they're in the gym, even though maybe they're overseas. And, that's something that would be on there. It gives us a touch point to maybe talk about it. But until you're in here using it, you don't quite understand the value of it. But I think most people are awfully impressed when they come in and they go, God, all I got to do is show up and bring my game, everything is here.
Right.
And, that, coupled with, like we talked about, the nutrition and the chefs and that sort of stuff. So a lot of good stuff.